Hello. Hello, all of you. Can you all listen me? Just tell me, can you all listen me or not? Am I audible to all of you? Just tell me, am I audible to all of you? Yeah, good morning, Tanushri. Good morning, beta. Good morning, Aviram. Good morning, Purushottam. Okay, so am I audible? That is good. Okay, so any doubt from the previous class? If you have any doubt? I'm just waiting that in few. Okay. We have done some good questions, right? So I'm just waiting, and I want to give you some questions, and I will give you some few minutes, and in that time you have to solve them, and just then after I will give you the answers, right? And then tell me how many, or you can check your copy or self correct your copy, right? So I'll give you some questions, okay, just for the test. So just a second. The test is just for revision, that how much you memorize or not, right? So I'm just giving you some questions, right? I'm just giving you some questions. So this is a test, and I will give you some. Let me first write the question, then I will give you time. So the first question is, find out the oxidation number. Oxidation number of underlined element, right? So the first one is CS3 twice SO, right? So in this case, you need to figure out the oxidation number of sulfur. Then the second is NoClO4. You need to find out the oxidation number of, and this thing, two things. And the third one is NH4 NO3 or NO2. In this case, you have to find out the oxidation of these two nitrogen. Then fourth one is Ba2 HPO2 ka whole twice. In this case also you have to find out the oxidation number of this thing, phosphorus. Okay, and fifth, yeah, this one. In this you need to find out the oxidation number of iodine. So these are 5 questions. Okay, then I am giving the next one, second. Each one of them, this is a one number, 1 mark, 2 mark, 2 mark, 1 mark, and this is also 1 mark. So this becomes 5 to 7, right? Which of the following compound is having peroxide bond? Peroxide bond, right? Option है H2SO5, H2S2O8, third H2S2O5, right? Fourth H2S2O3, fifth H2S2O6. These are some. So this is of 3 marks. So now, right now the time starts. You are having 10 minutes, right? I want all of you to solve this. Is that okay, beta? Please respond. Please respond if you can see the screen and if you have listened me. So this is a test, just a test. Okay, this is not just to judge you, just for practice, beta. Okay, so try to solve, try to apply your mind, try to recall things. Okay, and submit or I will give you the answer after 10 minutes, and then you can match and just note down in your copy how many correct you have done, right? Time starts. Who have joined later, just I am telling you that you need to solve this beta, right? You need to solve the questions which I have written. Okay, and I have even given you the marks for each question. If you are done solving, then please tell me. You can tell me if you are done this, or if you have done the questions. Three minutes to go, beta. Sorry. Last minute. Okay. Then any one of you who have completed, who have already completed? Okay. So the time is, yes, time is over, right? So just check. Okay, in this case, in the first case, You just if answer is right, then you can give yourself marks according to mark scheme, right? So in this case, if you find, then it is attached with carbon. This structure is like this, and carbon has less electronegativity. So if you solve this by, then in this case sulfur will get 0 oxidation number. This is nothing but NO plus and ClO4 minus. So you can solve these anion and cation individually, right? So in the first NO plus nitrosonium ion, if you see, in the nitrosonium ion it is plus, and with the help of oxygen okay, so with the help of oxygen it is like this, it is having plus, right? So if you break this, so nitrogen will get 3 and ClO4 minus, the chlorine will get plus 7. You can solve it, okay, it's not big deal. In NH4NO2, this is also combination of two things, ammonium ion and nitrite ion, right? So nitrogen will get plus 5, it will get plus 3, and in ammonium, this ammonium is like I have already told you, in it is like this, plus. So if you do this, if you solve this, then it will get minus 3, right? For the fourth one, if you solve this, I have written like this, or you can easily write it like this, PaHPO2, right? You already know barium have +2 charge. That is for sure. It is very certain that barium will have +2 charge. So this will be like HPO2 -2. Just a second, I might have written it wrong. Okay. you can I will give you, I have written the wrong compound actually in this case, but let's solve the fifth one. In fifth one, we already know that potassium will have +1 charge, so iodine will have -1/3. will have -1/3, right? So I have given answer of first, second, third, and fifth. Fourth, we will discuss later. I have given the wrong compound actually. In this case, I have already told you that peroxide bonds will exist in any compound when its oxidation number, which we calculate by simple method, that is addition subtraction wala method, if it's coming greater than maximum oxidation number, and all the compounds of sulfur, so maximum possible oxidation number of sulfur is +6. So in any case, if it is greater than +6, for example in this it is coming +8, that is also wrong. In this +7. So if oxidation number is coming greater than maximum, then they might have peroxide bond. So then these two compound will have peroxide bond, and other will not have peroxide bond. So this is the correct. So just please tell me how many marks you have got, or you can correct according to this, and just give me that how many marks you have got, 5, 6, 7, or whatever, 4. Just write in the chat. Please tell me, or I will explain if you want me to explain any of these. Please quickly. Janvi, Niharika, Siddharth, Tanushri, Tarun, Varshan, Aviram. Please respond, quickly respond. Got it. Okay. What about others, beta? So this compound I am correcting. This is compound. Wait. This is this compound. I have written it wrong, beta. Right. It can be solved like this: H2PO2 minus. If you solve for phosphorus, then phosphorus in this case will get +1. So you can just, apart from this, you can tell me the marks for other questions. Okay, so you do not want to tell me the marks. It's okay. You can give me marks on the Telegram channel. That's okay, right? If you do not want to post over here, then that's okay, completely fine. You can give me the marks on the Telegram channel, right? That is okay. Please respond. Nyarika, Tanushree, will you share there? Yeah, okay, fine, fine. Tarun, please do share over there. Okay, fine, great, fine. So I'm just continuing, and we have studied about oxidation and reduction, right? We have already discussed. Okay, just I want to tell you one more thing, that if you find somewhere this compound carbonyl, if you find this thing, this is known as carbonyl, right? It's a neutral, it's a neutral oxide. So if you find some compound like this, NiCO4, and they ask the oxidation number of Ni, so if you can solve it like, you take x plus 4, and carbonyl is neutral, so it will have 0, so total will be 0, so x will be 0. So in this case also oxidation number of nickel is 0. This is also one of the most frequently asked question, right? At least in practice tests. So I have already told you. Okay. Okay, I just want you to again want to recap all the concepts. So I am giving one compound, one hypothetical compound AB, C, D, right, and something O I have given, and I have already given that electronegativity A is greater than B, B greater than C, greater than D, greater than O. Okay, so if you want to calculate the oxidation number of each element, if they are asking you the oxidation number, you need to calculate the oxidation number of A, B, C, D, O in this given compound. So you can calculate simply by, I have already told you, by the covalent bond method. In that case, just check the electronegativity and give negative charge to electronegative atom, right? So in the first case, if you see, it will have -1 because it is having more electronegativity. So this will have -1 for sure. Only one bond is there. But for B, it is electronegative than this C. So it will have -2 from here, but +1 from A, right? So net charge will be, net oxidation number will be -2 + 1, that is +1. Okay. In this case, if you see C is having 5 bonds, 2 with more electronegative atom and 3 with less electronegative atom. So with more electronegative atom, it will get +2. With less electronegative atom, it will get -3. So its net charge will be -1. If you check for D is having bond with more electronegative atom, and D is less electronegative. So less electronegative will get plus, right? So it will get plus. Now check for this thing. Oxygen is least, this O, it is not oxygen, it is just O. So it is having having bond with C, which is more electronegative than O. So it is the compound which I have given is hypothetical. It is hypothetical. So in this case, C is having more electronegativity than O. So C will get -2 if you break this bond, and it will get +2. So oxygen will get +2. Did you get it, beta? I just wanted to revise all the concepts. Did you get it? I'm seeing some new name, Jyoti. Please tell me, did you get it? someone is having electronegative bond with electronegative atom, so it will get positive oxidation number. If it is having with less electronegative atom, then it will get negative oxidation number. And the number you are assigning, it depend upon number of bonds it is forming with the atom, right? Did you get it, beta? Did you get it? Please tell me, did you get it? Or do you want me to explain it again? Yeah, okay. Please tell me, quickly respond, then we will move to next topic. Please respond quickly. Are you writing it? I will share the notes, beta. I will share the notes. So do not worry. Yes. Niharika, Aviram, Siddharth, beta, Tanushri, you have already responded. Tarun, Varshant. Okay, so okay. You do not, just as it is given that electronegativity order, so according that you just see bond. For B, there are two bonds with less electronegative atom, one with more electronegative atom. So with less electronegative atom, it will get minus charge, and with more electronegative, it will get plus charge. So you need to write the summation, right? I think I have written wrong for this thing for B, right? B is having bond with C, so it will get -2 from here and +1 from A, so it will get -1. Sorry. Total charge, total oxidation number must be 0. Must be 0. The total, you can see the summation must be 0. Okay, so you can revise after the class. Now let us move to see, in chemistry we have to deal with chemical reactions. So you can classify all the chemical reactions. You can classify all the chemical reaction in two types. One is redox reaction and other is non-redox reaction. So how can we figure out which one is redox and which one is not redox reaction? So if in redox reaction, if oxidation number of any atom or of any element is changing, at least one, if oxidation number of at least one element is changing, then that will be considered as redox. In this case, oxidation number of oxidation number will not change for any element, in this case oxidation number will remain same. So I am giving you the example, I am giving you the simple example. Nitrogen and O2, if you see this, it becomes N2O5. We all know if element is present in elemental state, then it will carry 0 oxidation number, and if you solve here, it is having +5. So you can see nitrogen, oxidation number of nitrogen is changing, that is increasing, oxidation number increasing. But there can be compounds like this, HCl plus NaOH, and they form NaCl plus H2O. If you solve, oxidation number of all the elements remain same. In this reaction, oxidation number will remain same. In this case, oxidation number is changing at least for one element. So such kind of reaction are considered, or they are studied under redox reaction, and in which oxidation number is not changing, they are studied as non-redox reaction, right? So these are two types of, broadly I am classifying all kind of reaction, right? So these redox reactions involve redox reaction. In this chapter we are going to focus on redox reaction. In this chapter we will be studying redox reaction. Redox reaction, right? And all the redox reaction, what is it? How do we define redox reaction? We will do it in few seconds. But all the redox reaction involves oxidizing agent as well reducing agent. Right? What is oxidizing agent, what is reducing agent, we will study just. But before that, first let us know what is oxidation and what is reduction. Oxidation, let us start with oxidation. So very simple concept, okay? And just understand, oxidation means, okay, the old concept was addition of oxygen or any electronegative element. For example, nitrogen and oxygen, it gives N2O5. I am not balancing it. So in this case, nitrogen is getting oxidized. Right? This was old concept. Or removal of hydrogen, or any electropositive element, then that is understood as beta oxidation. Okay, for example, NH3 getting converted into nitrogen and hydrogen. I am not balancing it beta, till now I am not balancing it. So in this case, if you see, the oxidation number here was -3, here it becomes 0. So again, nitrogen is getting oxidized. It's very simple. This is old concept, but this doesn't cover all oxidation reaction, right? There are other reactions which cannot be understood by this method. If any reaction which involves ions, in that case it might not be possible to solve by this, right? So this is just old concept, okay? And we must have studied it in 9th and 10th class. But the new concept is loss of electrons. So if there is any reaction in which electrons are losing, okay, loss means what do you understand by loss? It means that electrons will be present on product side, they are coming as product. For example, there is something like this, Na solid, it becomes Na plus and gives electrons. So this will be, in this case, sodium is getting oxidized. So any process which involves loss of electron, okay, if there is any species which involves, or any reaction which involves loss of electron, that will be considered as oxidation. Then other is increase in oxidation number. We need to focus on this because we have studied oxidation number method in very detail. So if in any process oxidation number of the element is increasing, then that will be considered as oxidation, right? So if there is any process, for example, PCl3 gives addition of Cl2 gives PCl5, right? So in this case, if you see, oxidation number of phosphorus is +3 and it becomes +5, right? So in this case, you see oxidation number of phosphorus is increasing. So phosphorus is getting oxidized. So to get the oxidation number method, we must know the order of electronegativity, that is phone kal बुरा आया सुनकर खड़काया. Then later comes phosphorus. After that, phosphorus comes. So you can see these are more electronegative atom, FON, then chlorine bromine. So did you get this thing? What is oxidation? Please quickly respond. You need to apply this method. This was for 10th and 9th class students, and you will see in NCERT this is old method. This is better method. In all this case, if you see, in this case also, if you see, oxidation number is increasing. You can see 0, here it becomes +5. So oxidation is increasing. In this case also oxidation is increasing. In both the cases, if you see, oxidation number is increasing. So in all the above example, oxidation number is increasing. So this is very foolproof method. Through this, you can easily identify whether oxidation is taking place or not. Is that okay, beta? If it is okay, then we can move to next topic, that is reduction. Is that okay? Or you guys are writing again? Okay, fine. If you find some process in which electrons are lost, right? Let me give an example like this. A gives A plus X and X electrons, right? This is half reaction in which electrons are present. So this kind of reaction is known as oxidation half reaction. If any reaction is given in which electrons are given, then that is half reaction. That is not complete reaction, right? It is half reaction, and in this case you can see that oxidation is taking place. Its oxidation number is increasing. Okay, that is why it is known as oxidation half reaction. So this is the notation for oxidation reaction, right? Let me also explain what is reduction. Just opposite. If you have understood oxidation, then reduction is very easy. Old concept is nothing but removal of oxygen or any electronegative element, right? If you want some example, then this is SO3 giving SO2 and half O2. So oxygen is number of oxygen is decreasing. Then this is first. The second one is addition of hydrogen, beta. Addition of hydrogen or any electropositive element. Right? Nitrogen plus hydrogen providing hydrazine. This is hydrazine, beta. This compound is hydrazine, used in rocket propellant as rocket propellant, right? So in this case, reduction of nitrogen is taking place, reduction of N is taking place. In this case, sulfur, oxygen is removed from sulfur, so reduction of sulfur, right? So this was old. What is new? New concept, gain of electron. Okay, so gain of electron, it will always be, so electrons will always be present on reactant side. So any reaction in which gain is taking place, for example Cl2 plus electron and giving Cl minus, right? Okay, always remember, if you want to balance this, then it must be balanced with respect to atoms as well as charge. Okay, so I'm just writing it here, balanced reaction with respect to atoms as well as charge must be balanced. Okay, so if you see in this case there are 2 chlorine atom, so there must be 2, but if you see two chlorine, then here it is -2 charge, here it is only -1, so you have to multiply it by 2. So in this case chlorine is reduced. Decrease in oxidation number. There is any process or any reaction in which oxidation number of the element is decreasing. For example, Cr2O7 -2 and it becomes Cr plus 3. So you see in this case, if you try to find out, oxidation number of chromium is decreasing. Here it is present in +6 oxidation state. Now it is in +3, right? So oxidation number of chromium is decreasing. So reduction of chromium is taking place. Chromium. How do we represent any reduction reaction? Any B Y electron, you add Y electron, it becomes V minus Y. So this is the representation for oxidation half reaction. Reduction half reaction. This is half because it involves electrons. Complete reaction does not involve electrons. Just read it and tell me if you have any doubt. Just read it and tell me if you have any doubt. So this is the foolproof method, beta. If you want to check the oxidation or reduction, just check oxidation number. If oxidation number of any element is increasing, then it is part of oxidation process, and if it is decreasing, then it is part of reduction process. Very simple. Is it okay, beta? Is it okay? Is it okay, beta? ज्योति, जानवी, सिद्धार्थ बेटा, तरुण, वसंत, विनय, निहारिका, अभिराम. Yeah, you guys can open your mic and tell me. Okay, there is no need to that there is not hard and fast that you have to write here only. Okay. Yes, Siddharth. Okay, fine. Right. Okay, now Now there is one hint, right? If there is any compound which is having more than one atom or atoms from different elements, right? So what you will see, that oxidation number, okay, oxidation change in oxidation number will occur for that element which can show variable oxidation state, right? Oxidation number, generally oxidation number will change for atom which can show variable, and variable oxidation number is generally shown by d block element and p block element. They are not shown by fluorine, because fluorine, they have fluorine in its compound will have always -1. Hydrogen, it is also fixed, +1 with non-metals and -1 with metals. In the case of oxygen, generally oxygen is, for oxygen it is also fixed. For alkali metal it is +1, that is also fixed. For alkaline earth metal it is also fixed, +2. Okay, so generally oxidation number will be changing for d block element. If it involves d block element, generally oxidation number of d block element will change. Also, if there is not d block, then there might be change in the oxidation number of p block element. But in p block also, fluorine and oxygen, they will rarely show change in oxidation number. Okay, so initially you will have doubt that how we have chosen this chromium here, right? So p block and d block elements, they generally show variable oxidation state, and if it involves d block element, then for sure it will, the change in oxidation number will be coming from d block, right? This is just hint, this is not a rule. Okay, just a hint how to investigate a case, or how to identify which is going under the process of oxidation, right, or reduction, right? So I am writing some questions, some basic questions to give you just idea. If H2S gains 8 electrons, calculate oxidation number of sulfur. Right? So in this case, what you will do? It is H2S. Okay. So I have told you that generally hydrogen, fluorine, and oxygen, they will not undergo change in oxidation number, right? So here it is sulfur. Okay. So sulfur, if you see, sulfur is present in -2. So I gain लिख दिया, just accepts, lose लिखना है मुझे, lose 8 electrons. So in this case, if you see, let us just identify hydrogen and S. Hydrogen is present in plus, sulfur is present in -2. It cannot lose any more electrons. It is already in plus. It is whatever electron it was having, it have already lost it. Right? So now hydrogen cannot lose any electron, but it is not having any electron. Right? So it cannot lose any electron. So there is only one case that sulfur can lose. Sulfur has to lose electrons, right? So if sulfur is losing electrons, this cannot further lose any electrons. It is not having any electron. So if it lose 8 electrons, then it will become S plus 6. So oxidation of sulfur is +6. Did you get it? Did you get it? Please quickly respond. If it is written that H2S lose 8 electron, then there might be case that hydrogen or sulfur, which of two is losing the electron? We are very sure that hydrogen cannot lose any electron because it is not having any electron, right? It is already with 0 electrons, H plus. Sulfur, the other candidate, has to lose electrons. So here logic comes, right? Is it okay, beta? Is it okay? If it is given KMnO4 or MnO4 minus, right, and gives 5 electron, and ask the oxidation number of manganese. So see again, MnO4 minus, just check it. In this case, Mn is present in +7 and oxygen is already present in -2. So it cannot gain any electron. It cannot gain any electron. So electron must be gained by Mn +7. Oxygen is already in its lowest state. It is already in its lowest state, -2. It cannot accept more electrons. So you need to remember the maximum and minimum rule, which we have written. Maximum and minimum rule becomes very handy, right? So in this case, if you see, manganese is the only candidate which can accept electrons. If it accept electron, 5 electron, it will become Mn +2. Did you get it? It cannot accept more electron, cannot accept more electron. So I am writing, please revise maximum and minimum rule, maximum and minimum oxidation number rule. Or if you want, I will just cut and paste over here. Just a second. This I have written here, right? For P block it was there. Just a second. So I am just pasting over here. This is. Also I have told you that manganese can have maximum +7 and chromium can have maximum +6. So these are two rules which you need to remember, right? For fluorine it is -1, for hydrogen +1 and -1, depending upon whether it is connected to metal or non-metal, right? Is that okay, beta? Is that okay? Now let us understand what is reducing and oxidizing agent. Very important. They will ask you direct question. Each or alternate year you will find such question. Which of the following is oxidizing? Which of the following can behave as oxidizing agent, and which can behave as reducing agent? Right? Is that okay, beta? Medical student, NEET students are showing very low energy. What happened to you guys? Please charge yourself. First, coming to oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent. Okay, just remember that agent works for others. They works for other. If you see ticketing agent make ticket for others, right? It makes ticket for others. Okay, so oxidizing agent is any specific compound or substance which oxidizes other, right? It oxidizes others. It is agent, it is working for other, right? So what does it mean? If it oxidizes other, it means it increases the oxidation number of other element, right? Other compound, right? So oxidizing agent, they are also known as oxidant. If they are oxidizing others, right, they are increasing the oxidation number of others. So it can be, if they are oxidizing other, it means the other element or other compound is undergoing through the oxidation process, other element. And we have already understood in oxidation process, either oxygen is added or hydrogen is removed or electrons are removed. So what it is doing, it is oxidizing agent will be gaining the electron. Okay, oxidizing agent will be gaining the electron, or undergoing the decreasing oxidation number. The oxidation number of the oxidizing agent will decrease. The oxidation number of oxidizing agent will decrease. ठीक है. So decreasing oxidation number for oxidizing agent, but it will increase the oxidation number of others. Okay, it will increase oxidation number of other substance for a element of other substance. Oxidation number of element of other substance, right? So this is oxidizing agent, right? The reverse of it, reducing agent. Very important. So any specific compound, any specific substance which reduces others, also known as reductant, right? What it will do, oxidizing agent will be losing the electron, or it will be undergoing increase in oxidation number. This is something which is undergoing increase in oxidation number for self, or it will decrease the oxidation number of element present in other substance, very simple. Okay, so if it is given individually, you can easily identify which is oxidizing and reducing. If it is given in any reaction, you can, by using the oxidation number method, you can easily identify which of the following given compound is behaving as oxidizing. But there are certain questions in which they will give you 10 compounds randomly. They will give you 10 compounds and they will ask which of the following can behave as oxidizing agent. So how to determine which can behave as oxidizing and which can behave as reducing? How to determine? So I am writing here how to. Very important, beta. You need to study. You need to learn these things. Oxidizing agent. To determine, you must know maximum and minimum rule. Compound having element in its maximum oxidation number. Maximum oxidation number. If it is present in maximum oxidation number, its oxidation number cannot be increased further. So it has to lower down its oxidation number, right? If oxidation number of the compound is decreasing, it is getting reduced, but it will be oxidizing others. The similar rule is for here. Compound which is present in compound having element in its minimum oxidation number. Right? What are other? How will you identify oxidation number? Reducing. All the metals in elemental form are very strong reducing agent. Strong reducing agent. Sodium, potassium, magnesium, they are very nice, right? Or aluminum, you can write anyone. All metal hydride also, metal hydride like NaH, KH, MgH2, these will behave as reducing agent. In this case, metal oxides, generally metal oxides, behave as oxidizing agent. So if you want to determine oxidizing agent, you need to check maximum oxidation number. In this, you have to check the minimum, right? So if something is present, so I am writing here, if something is present in its intermediate state, compound having element in intermediate state, having element in intermediate oxidation number, it can behave as reduce as both, it can behave as both reducing agent and oxidizing agent. Just see this, then I will be writing some compounds and we will find out which of them can behave as oxidizing, which can behave as reducing. But to identify that, you need to know the maximum and minimum rule, right? I will take 3-4 minutes, beta. I will take 3-4 minutes. Okay. Oxidizing agent. Okay. Oxidizing agent. List, if I want to give you the list, reducing agent, and then both oxidizing and reducing. So I am writing the last one. So this is very important because they will ask you either of three, they can ask you. For example, O3, for example, SO2, right? SO2, H2O2, they can behave as both H2O2, SO2, O3. If you see in this, sulfur is present in +4, but sulfur, the highest is +6 and minimum is -2. So it is present in minimum, intermediate. For oxygen also, if you see here, it is in 0, but it can have -2 or it can also have +1, +2. Similarly, here it is -1. So oxygen can have 0 or -2. So that is why they can behave as oxidizing and reducing. So you need to remember all this. These are very easy to remember. KMNO4, KMNO4, K2Cr2O7. You can also write CrO2, right? K2Cr2O7, HNO3, right? If you find in this case Mn is present in +7, here it is +6, maximum, here it is also maximum for each. You can find out this is the maximum. So KMNO4, K2Cr2O7, HNO3. Reducing agent, if you want to write H2S, all the hydro acids, HCl, HBr, HI, all the hydro acids, these are known as hydro acids, right? So if something is present in its maximum, then they will be classified as oxidizing agent, and if it is something is present in its minimum, then they will be classified as reducing. Here you will see sulfur in -2, chlorine -1, bromine -1. This is the minimum, and in the above case, this was its maximum. Then there is one more disclaimer: H3PO4, H2CO3, right, and H2SO4. Do not act as oxidizing agent. If you see, carbon is in maximum, but then also it is not actually, this is in maximum, this is also in maximum. So if it is in dilute, dilute, then it is no oxidizing agent. But if it is concentrated, then it might, in some reaction, it behaves as mild oxidizing agent. Right? There are some other examples. PbO2, right? SO3. Okay, we will discuss in next class. This is its maximum, right? If something is present in its maximum, then they will act as oxidizing agent, right? So I think it is enough for today. Okay, I will share the PDF, and please do revise all this, and in the next class we will understand redox reaction and its balancing, right? Right, I am sharing the notes. Please do revise, do revise the notes, do revise notes. Okay, okay, fine, I'm just ending the class. Satish, do not